This is the Cooler Master TD500 mesh, and the folks at Cooler Master claim this case delivers high airflow, ARGB flare, and budget-friendly pricing. But after building a full system and stress testing it, I found some surprising trade-offs that you won't see in the marketing blurbs. Stick around. I'll tell you whether this is worth your hard-earned cash or just a pretty light show. Product Overview. So what exactly are we looking at? This is the Cooler Master TD500 mesh, later refreshed into a TD500 mesh V2 in early 2025. It's a mid-tower PC case aimed at enthusiasts and DIY builders on a budget, offering mesh front cooling and ARGB capabilities. The original model, launched around 2020, priced around $100, and the V2 brought improvements like a removable top panel, front USB-C, and an ARGB and fan hub. Its key selling proposition, good airflow and striking looks at budget pricing, ideal for users who care about thermals and aesthetics without paying flagship case prices. Performance. Okay, specs and looks are nice, but how does it perform day to day? I built a mid to high-end system in it, mounted a high-wattage CPU, GPU, and stress-tested the system under load. According to Gamers Nexus, under full torture CPU plus GPU load, the CPU delta T over ambient sat around 50 to 51 degrees C, and GPU delta T around 50 degrees C as well, with stock fans. That put the case in solid airflow territory, not top tier like some enthusiast cases, but very respectable for its class. What was more interesting was that even with the front panel on, it didn't significantly choke airflow. Performance only improved a few degrees when the front panel was removed. In real life, that means under gaming or heavy rendering loads, this case can help keep component temps in a safe range so you're not thermal throttling your CPU or GPU immediately. Noise-wise, at 100% fan speed, the case registered around 39 to 40 dBA. And if you manually crank down fan speeds to around 75%, thermals remain manageable while noise drops. So, was it fast? Well, the case itself doesn't make your system faster, but it ensures that your system can run at high performance without overheating. That, to me, is the core ask of a case. Protect thermals and not get in the way. Features and tech. Let's talk standout features. Mesh front and cooling potential. The polygonal metal mesh front allows lots of airflow, and according to reviews, it doesn't significantly restrict fan intake, so cooling performance stays strong. The real-life benefit? Your CPU and GPU can get fresh air even under heavy loads, not something every budget case nails. ARGB fans and control hub. It ships with 320mm ARGB front fans, and in the V2 includes an ARGB and fan hub and supports motherboard RGB control or manual button switching. That gives you easy cable routing and style customization if you want an eye-catching build. For those who love lighting flare, it's a solid perk. For those who don't care, you can always adjust or replace them. Good radiator and component support. Both versions support radiators up to 360 millimeters in the front and top, making custom AIO or potential water cooling configurations possible. That means if you want to mount a 360 millimeter AIO in the front or top, you likely can. Real-world benefit? If you're planning a higher-end build with strong cooling needs, the TD500 can support it. V2 specific upgrades, I/O and accessibility. The V2 brings front USB-C, removable top panel for easier assembly, and a full PSU shroud with a cover option so you can either show off or hide your power supply. Those are concrete UI/UX improvements. You spend less fiddling during assembly. So here's the thing. Many of these features, airflow, lighting, component flexibility, are not just marketing. They translate to real-world utility depending on what you want from a build. Design and build. Let's talk about the physical feel and build quality. Cooler Master has gone for a design that looks sharp, with tempered glass side panel and an angular front mesh facade that gives it a futuristic look on the desk. The build materials are solid steel, plastic, mesh, and tempered glass. On ergonomics, some assembly is straightforward, especially in the V2 variant, thanks to the removable top panel, making installer access easier. That said, there are areas with compromise. In earlier versions, cable management space behind the motherboard tray can be a bit tight, and some reviewers noted that side clearance was limited, which means larger cables or added wiring might require planning. Also, some components like long GPUs typically fit, but size and routing cables may need patience and planning. Visually and tactically, it feels like a mid-range enthusiast case, not over-engineered premium, but solid enough for most builds, with potential to upgrade or modify. Pros: strong airflow and cooling, clean ARGB aesthetics, fits big GPUs and 360mm RADs, V2 adds USB-C and easier build. Cons: tight cable space, some flimsy panels, original lacked USB-C. Final verdict. So, who is this for, and is it worth the money? If you're a DIY builder or gamer who wants a cool-looking case with strong airflow, support for high-end hardware, radiators, and ARGB without breaking the bank, the TD500 series is a compelling option. It gives you real-world thermal headroom, aesthetic customization, and build flexibility, especially in the V2 version, which addresses some usability pain points and adds USB-C and better assembly access. For around the $90 to $110 price range, it punches above its weight. However, if you're someone who values pristine cable routing space, or you want a case that's ultra easy to manage every cable, or you're using a very wide GPU or bulky PSU, you might encounter tight spaces or need to plan your build more carefully. In those cases, there are other slightly higher-priced cases with more generous cable channels and ease of installation. But you may sacrifice the mesh airflow and ARGB flexibility.